So, welcome back to another episode. And I've been looking forward to doing this episode for a long time. And that is the worst box arts in video game history. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the retro games. Because, the ones that I grew up with, the ones that stand out to me. But please make a video response. Make a comment below. Tell me, what are some of the worst box arts that you've ever seen? And there's a lot out there. There's a lot on the Wii alone. That's an entire episode into itself, but I just thought that I would stick with some of my retro games. So here we go. I remember in 1989 getting so excited about Phantasy Star 2 on the Genesis, a role-playing game. You guys know I'm a huge fan of the series. My friend Andrew, he got it. His father came back from a company trip, and he brought with him Phantasy Star 2. I went over to his place. I stopped and I looked at the box and I was like, this is the game that we've been waiting months and months for? This is it? What the hell happened? What happened to the characters? Because I'd seen the in-game graphics of Nye and the main character, shop merchants and all that kind of stuff, cinematics. And I didn't understand what had happened to the main characters. I was like, why does Nye look like she's 48 years old and like some weird, evil witch? And our main character, who's, in his late teens, if even that, is now like 68 years old. In some weird, surreal desert thing, it looked like something out of a 1970s science fiction painting. I was like, this is probably where it's from, but I didn't understand how it tied to my JRPG game that I was looking forward to, and I could never get over that. And I remember I was talking to Andrew, I'm like, what the hell happened? We could never figure it out, but the Japanese Phantasy Star 2 fared a little better. Now, my diehard game fan memories, I was talking about this game, I saw it first in there, and I couldn't wait for it to get out, to come out here, and it was finally localized, and that game was Landstalker. Now, please, I'm sorry about the artwork. Here we go. Man, I've been seeing screenshots and manual artwork for these games, and I was so looking forward to it. I was like, and then I picked up the box and I was like, jeez, what the hell happened? The main character's like, I know the main character's supposed to be some elf character, but he's so out of proportion. He's so horribly Disney-esque. And I like Disney characters. I haven't got a problem with them, but this is such a badly drawn version of the Japanese style artwork. It's not even the Japanese style artwork. It's just Americanized for the sake of Americanizing it. I was always disturbed because, it's a great Japanese style game, and I was really hoping that we get the original artwork on there. But at the time, anime was not big at this time. And I think they were like, let's stay away from that weird anime looking stuff. Let's get one of our local artists and get him to draw something that will appeal to a more Americanized audience. And unfortunately, we all had to suffer this fate. But years later, I was able to get the Japanese version of Landstalker and to see the actual artwork the way it was meant to be, and very happy about that. But Landstalker is an excellent game. Now we enter the land of the TurboGrafx, a place of notorious bad box art. And this one is a classic. It is an incredible classic. I love the game, and thank God I saw the screenshots of the game before I saw the box art. And here it is. I wish I could just not have done that, but I did. Dungeon Explorer, a really excellent Gauntlet style, overhead action RPG-esque game, and it's a good fun game for 4 players. It really is. But what the heck happened to the box art? And it's just so monumentally bad, and we're not talking college bad or high school bad. We're talking like beyond elementary school here. Like, I've seen elementary school artwork that is better than this. I don't understand what was going on back then with the decisions at Turbo Technologies saying, hey, we need a box art for Dungeon Explorer, and them hiring this person. Did they not see any other artwork this person did? How did they end up with this? It's not even in proportion. It's just very disturbing, and it doesn't highlight the game or do anything for the game, and it makes you kind of go, ooh, that looks bad, and that's terrible. That's really upsetting. And but it's so nostalgic now. It wouldn't be Dungeon Explorer without this artwork, and that's the thing. You get so used to seeing this artwork with these games, you couldn't unsee them any other way. And now we get to the finales here. Now I'm going to show you a good box art because this game that that has a really bad box art had a first game that actually had not so bad box art, and that is Final Zone 1 by Renovation on the Genesis. Not bad, actually. This is pretty cool artwork. Shows the mecha, shows the characters, shows some helicopters, some tanks. It's well drawn, well presented, good composition. Good stuff. Number 2, I couldn't wait for that. My parents took me down to Bella's Fair back in the day. I picked up Fighting Streets, which was Street Fighter 1, and Final Zone 2. And what happened is, I walked in the store and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get that game and that game. I paid for them, and then I was waiting for my parents. They were in some clothing store, some boring store, and I had my brown paper bag and I opened it up and I saw the artwork for Final Zone 2. And I was utterly, when I finally could actually see it up close, I was like, what the hell happened? What happened to this game that I was looking forward to for so long? You know, it's an action overhead shooter type of game like Commando. A game I was really excited about. The cinematics look great, the character designs look great, the mecha designs look great. It got Americanized in the worst way possible, and this is actually a very classic bad box art now. You can go around the web and check it out. A lot of people will pick this as one of their worst box arts, and I don't blame them, but it's funny, I had that initial thought, and I've always thought it. It's just some really bad airbrushed artwork, unfortunately, but it's funny, some of the worst box arts, I don't even own these games. I think because I don't like them, and I don't really like to have games that I don't personally enjoy. And one of them is Rival Turf, a beat 'em up from back in the day with the two 80s style kids. Let me tell you this, even back then the box art was bad. Nobody thought this was good. I remember looking at it actually in a video store going, geez, I'm staying away from that game. That's not my thing. I want a little bit more I don't know, intensity, not these two kids wearing their shades. It kind of turned me off the game, to be honest with you. Now we come to my actual number 1. If I'm gonna say I actually have a number 1 worst box art that I hate, that I can't stand, and mine is Pro Wrestling on the Master System. I don't know how this happened, and the Master System was renowned for terrible box arts. It really was. But is this one forgivable? I don't know. I don't know who said what the marketing department at Sega back then, saying, yes, don't worry about the box arts. People just buy the games. They just care about the title of the game. And maybe that was correct, because I don't understand why they even bothered putting this artwork on and putting it into a store shelf. And a person walking in going, geez, that guy holding his head in an arm lock, I gotta get that game. I'd like to meet the person who actually, bought that game and thought that was going to be good based on the box art. I'd be totally turned off myself. But anyways, guys, that's my picks. Oh man, Pro Wrestling. Ugh. But those are my picks. But please tell me your worst box arts, the ones that you own in your collection, and we all have them. Leave a video response, leave a comment below. Tell everybody what your worst box art is. So anyways, guys, until next time.